gentlemen, in my hand here I have a 2024 Creed Aventus batch sample, and I'm going to see if Creed Aventus is still highly overpriced or if it might actually be worth it in 2024. I'm going to look at the longevity, the projection, and lastly I'm going to give you my final opinion and rating of Creed Aventus in 2024. Let's not waste any more time and let's begin. Let's spray the sample on my hand here and let's have a sniff. So this batch of Aventus smells very fruity and juicy at the top, and the juiciness and fruitiness really comes through from the pineapple and the bergamot, and there's also a slightly green fruity crispy quality coming from the apple as well. Although all of that is amazing, I don't really get a lot of black currant here. In my opinion, it's not present at all. So it's mostly going to be pineapple, bergamot and apple, and that black currant doesn't come through on my skin. I don't get any black currant at all. It then dries off to being fresh, clean and soft with a great amount of birch that is coming through in a slightly woody, fresh nuance there as well. And then when it's completely dry and becomes a skin scent, it becomes this very clean musk-like fragrance with a very minute green quality from oak moss and patchouli. Of course, the ambergris gives this a slight lift, but the majority of the dry down is going to be a very small amount of that with a lot of fresh musks. So it's interesting. A lot of batches of Aventus are either very birch heavy, pineapple heavy, very black currant and pineapple heavy. But this batch that I have here is a very round, complete version where nothing really takes the spotlight from any other part of the fragrance, but black currant is certainly not present as much on my skin. So it's very interesting and it smells just like you would think of Aventus smelling like, but it's not overly dominant by a certain note, so it's actually very well blended. I want to move over to the most interesting aspect of this review, and that is going to be the longevity and performance criteria. I was ready to completely destroy this fragrance by telling you that it doesn't last more than an hour or two, but I was completely blown away by the 12 plus hours of longevity that I got from this batch here. Make it make sense, I don't understand. And moving over from longevity to projection, the story wasn't quite astonishing. Of course, this lasted over 12 hours on my skin, but for the majority of the time, the projection was simply non-existent. There was almost no sillage except from first half an hour to possibly an hour or so, but this doesn't project at all on my skin. It lasts a long time, however, it doesn't project much at all. Now, gentlemen, my final opinions about the 2024 batch of Aventus, and lastly my men's improvement rating of this fragrance here. Well, my opinion is that Aventus is a mass appealing, sexy, overall a very enjoyable fragrance to wear, as it always has been. It's an amazing DNA, it's compliment pulling from my experience, and I overall really enjoy it. However, it is still very, very expensive if you want to buy the original Creed Aventus bottle. I still don't think that it's worth the price tag that Creed wants for this fragrance here. Don't get me wrong, I am very, very surprised positively that I got 12 plus hours of performance and longevity from this batch here. If you can afford it and you don't really care about the longevity and the projection that you might get, then I can suggest that if you have smelled this before and you like the Aventus DNA, then why not go for the real deal if you don't really care. But if you really obsess about guarantee, longevity, projection that is better than the original, then I think you might have to look elsewhere. In terms of men's improvement rating, I will gladly bump its rating up to a 9.3 out of 10 men's improvement rating. I just wish that it was better projecting and that the price was slightly more justifiable. But overall, a pleasant surprise that this batch of Aventus lasts way longer. Creed, well done. Just bump the price down a little bit and make it slightly more affordable and possibly give us more projection. Other than that, I always will love the Aventus DNA. Gentlemen, what do you think about Creed Aventus? Do you think it's overpriced? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you have some alternatives for people who don't want to spend the money on the real deal? Comment your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. I would love to see your comments down there. And if you enjoyed my review of 2024 Creed Aventus, then leave it a like and subscribe to the Men's Improvement YouTube channel for more videos about fragrances, grooming, style, fashion, skincare, fitness, watches, everything that will make you, gentlemen, the best possible version of yourselves. The last few things I want to ask you, gentlemen, is to smile more because it's free, and I want you to watch these two videos right here. This one here below is going to be my latest upload, whereas this one up here is going to be a video that the YouTube algorithm thinks you will enjoy.